Signals play a major role on how our mind works. Signal decides on the choices that we take, to the food that I'm going to eat right now, to the future that I would like to pursue. So what do I mean by signals? Signals can be anything and everything. The brands that I would like to endorse, the logos that I would like to glaze on my products, the people I would like to associate with, the sporting teams to which I would like to pledge my fealty to, all depends on the signals. All denote signals. So signals can be anything and everything. I come from the southern part of India, Tamil Nadu, and during my high school days in the later part of the 2000s, there was a successful cycle manufacturing company called Hero, and which is also a successful cycle manufacturing company right now also, and they manufactured and sold a particular brand of cycles called the Ladybird, whose target audience are the teenage girls. I clearly remembered in those days, my friends, the boys, they would never ever get on those Ladybird cycles because it denoted feminism. And the most funniest part of that was the teenage girls who rode those Ladybirds will never let their mothers to get on those cycles. Now these things all denotes these signals. So signals do play a major role in our lives. And what we need to really understand is we give out a lot of signals as a person. So if businesses can understand these signals better, they can take right decisions. Startups, if they can read the signals properly, they can predict the upcoming trend in the industry. So a lot depends on these signals. Now to viewers, I'm going to ask you 3 questions to think about on the signals. Why men don't go and buy the blue shirts, the plain, clean, all weather blue shirts, unless they don't have it in their wardrobes? Why did the Indian consumers, the car consumers, moved away from the Maruti 800, the most successful car in the entire Indian history? And why do teenagers moved away from Facebook and they went after Instagram and TikTok? These questions signify signals. I want you to think about the answers, and which I'll be giving at the end of this video. To find out the answers for these 3 questions, you need to understand signals better, and that's what we are going to find out in this video. So imagine a reader, leader, thinker, wanderer, trainer, and an ambivert blessed with coaching and people skills. That's me, Gautham, your coach, founder, able experts. When it comes to signals, our mind is very clear that how it wants to be signaled and how it does not want to be signaled. So there are 2 parts to it. So how I want to be signaled, you see these rich and wealthy people, they go to these high-end bars and clubs week in and week out, not once or twice in a while, week in, week out, and they go and spend thousands of dollars on cards, wine and whatnot. Why do they do that? Because they got the money? No, not just the money, because they want to show to the people surrounding them that I belong to that class, and to be on that class you need to go to those places week in and week out. And look at the neo corporate world employees. Now these employees will have little tattoos on their necks and forearms, and it will not be visible inside their offices. But when it comes to a weekend, it will be clearly visible to all the onlookers, because they want to show to the people, to the normal people, that I'm also a cool dude, I can also do yo-yo, stuff like that, because they don't want to be branded as these guys are corporate. So my mind is very clear that how I want to be signaled. And on the other hand, I'm very particular on how I don't want to be signaled. For example, I will never have this teddy bear with me while I shoot my videos, because it signals different thing. I'm not derogatory, my dear friends. Hope you could understand it. And there are countries in which bright colors like pink, rose and floral designs on shirts and polos will be shied away by men. Men do not wear those in some countries because it denotes that they are from a different community. What about Indian men? We wear everything. We wear all the kinds. Don't worry about us. So our mind is very clear how it wants to be signaled and how it does not want to be signaled. Based on these ideas, I hope you would be able to understand it. Now, how these things affects my choices, that is the most important part. When it comes to choices, if it is not seen by others, my choices will be functional. And when it is seen by others, signals play a major role. Let us bring a brand conscious multi-millionaire for this example. If he has to choose a paper towel or a toothpick for his home, as long as it is not seen by others, he will not worry about the brand of those products, probably, because if those paper towels can hold long enough, and if these toothpicks don't snap easily, that's more than enough for him to choose any XYZ brand of those things. But when it comes to products that's been seen by others, now these signals kick in. The car that he drives, the wallet that he uses, to the perfumes, it is all seen and noticed by the people. Here, the importance moves from functionality to the signals that each and every product radiates. Understand the intensity of these decisions, the impact of these decisions, how far they go to show their signals to the people. There is a luxury watch maker called Romain Geron from Switzerland, and they manufacture one of the costliest watches in the world, and then they sell it to their rich and wealthy clients. They recently, few years ago, they launched a watch called the Titanic DNA day and night version, which cost around $300,000. You might not be fascinated about it. Okay, look, costly brand, they always sell costly watches. What's about that? The beauty here is that watch will never show time to the wearer. That watch will never show time to the wearer. It will just show that Titanic DNA day and night watch will only show whether it's a daytime or a nighttime to the wearer. And upon launching that watch, those patches got over within 48 hours of time, $300,000, which never shows time. How about that? Why would people go and buy those kinds of watches? And probably you would have heard about the Louis Vuitton trash bags, okay? Trash bags which cost you $2,000 to put your trash and throw it away in the dustbins, okay? How about that? Why would people would go and buy these Louis Vuitton $2,000 trash bag? Because they would like to signal to others that my trash is better than yours, so that it deserves a better bag. $2,000 bag. By now you might have got the answers for the questions that I asked you in the beginning. Why men don't go and buy the classic all-weather blue shirts? Because it denotes it's worn by normal dull employees, and which they don't want to become one. And why did the Indian consumers move away from the most famous car, the Maruti 800? Because it was once used by the rich people, and when it got slowly adapted by the middle class and the lower middle class, the other segment moved away from 800 because it never denoted richness. And why did the teenagers move away from Facebook? Because Facebook was meant to be a youth platform, and once it got populated by aunties and uncles, the teenagers, the young adults lost their identity there, and then they moved to Instagram, where they got that identity as a youth platform. So everything depends on the signals, because blue shirt signals something, driving an 800 signals something, being on Instagram signals that I'm still a youth. All right, so everything signals everything to everyone. Your next decision to hire a new person depends on the signal that he gives. The girl or the boy that you're going to marry for life is based upon the signals that they are radiating right now. And if you're able to read those signals better, you will be able to make better decisions, and be conscious of the signals that you're giving out. And yes, signals do play a major role in our life. Peace and prosperity. Bye bye, Gautham.